All right, hey collective. I hope you've been looking good, feeling good, smelling good, eating good, drinking good, thinking good thoughts, having a good time, sharing good energy in good places with good people, doing good things. All right, I don't know what this is about. It could be about a million different things. What I've come to know is that the karmics will be karmics, and their energy is their energy. And if it comes up in a reading, it doesn't mean that it has anything to do with us, because they are in their own little debauchery. And they just want to be seen, felt, and heard. That's another one of the downloads that I got recently too, is like the reason why all of these karmics and like family members and whatever behave the way they do is because they have not yet like come to terms with whatever it is that they were trying to fight. Like all the things that you've healed, they still are a prisoner to. So when people say, oh, they're going to be in jail, that spiritual jail may be really horrible, you know, because they're going through all of these emotions and these irritations and blah, 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 blah. And they really don't understand why. And all they can ever do is look outside themselves at you, because you are a mirror back to them. So they see whatever it is in them that they haven't healed, because you're a mirror. So a lot of these people may be coming to the realization, like, wait a minute, if cuz been over there by themselves, healing and getting themselves together and being compassionate and considerate enough along the way to not let pride like overwhelm them, because they are like, that's also a message to the collective too. Like, don't everybody's gonna walk through that orphan phase. That's all I can really tell you. It starts there. That's where it starts, right? It says roots right here. That's where it all starts. It starts in that. So they have to, everybody's gonna go through that, whether they're spiritual or religious. They have to go through that. That's a part of the walk. Remember that period in the Bible where Jesus wasn't around and he was just living his life? Yeah. Then all of a sudden everybody hated him. He's like, what you was doing before we got here? I was just learning and growing. Yeah. Okay. Right now these people need to, oh wow. Okay. Some of these people are riding on the fact that you're going to let pride get in your way, collective. They're riding on the fact that you're going to be so proud and so, prideful that you won't, I don't know. And it just depends, because some people can see certain things as pride that isn't really pride. But like, I don't think acknowledging your own, acknowledging your own achievements, but not while you're attempting, like not while attempting to like, in an attempt to demean another person. You don't do that. Like, but they're riding on you to be like some arrogant a-hole. I don't know. Some people just will never give up, but that's why they're getting ready to go through this orphan period, because it's like they have to understand that to know, to even be able to see like, I got to give this up, because this is what this really is right now. I believe is coming out on this table is somebody's turn around to understanding that they got to give this up, because it's in that cycle where they get orphaned that they realize that you could never be prideful coming out of that energy. There's no way you could be prideful when you've been orphaned. When you're an orphan, people walk past you as a child, hungry and homeless on the street. So, yeah, no. And if you can go from being an orphan and not letting pride get in your way to making sure your dreams have a practical plan and riding on that energy, like just taking off. It's kind of like, yeah, you didn't let pride get in your way, but you sure did take the opportunity to seize the moment to have a great victory in your life for yourself. Where is this camera? Oh, okay. I'm confused. Like, what the heck? I knew the cards was down here, but I feel like somebody's trying to hide from that. Or maybe it's been hidden from others, this positioning that you're in. Like, while you're not letting pride get in your way, you've passed that orphan stage, they're now in it. And you've made a practical plan for and this is the full moon in Taurus, you've made a practical plan for your dreams to come true. Now you're riding high and I feel like this is going to be, this is going to be hidden from whomever's starting this cycle. I just get this person is just real arrogant. But for you, collective, it's just kind of like, just continue to release their energy. You know, don't be afraid either to like hold up that mirror for them. Like, let them sit for a minute, you know, if they need to, I guess. Because look at that, one of the things that I've been noticing the most about the orphan is that person is sitting there. Because when you're in that orphan phase, you don't have shit else to do but sit. Ooh, yeah. This person may even have to sit in, this person may have to become a monk or not. And like, they may have to just completely close down shop. I mean, I don't ever say that it's a bad idea, right? It's never a bad idea because it helps you to get back to you. Like, when you're in this phase of monk or nunnery, that's what I'm gonna call it. I don't know if that's the correct word, but when you're in that phase, it helps you. Every time I see Greco-Roman, I'm reminded of like the museums. So it helps you see the art of nature. It helps you see the art and the beauty of the world at its most pure and naked existence. And that's why people are often called into this period of abstinence or celibacy, because it's what follows the orphan phase. Like, in the orphan phase, you don't really have a choice either. That's something these people are going to soon realize. You really don't have a choice. I mean, you can sit and just continue to put yourselves in risky, bad situations, but you're going to be riding, like, it's so much to deal with in that orphan stage. A lot of phobias, like, everything looks different because of that orphan phase. Like, it's everything that led up to it. People may even see their health deteriorate while they're in this period of having all these phobias come to life for them. Like, so all these fears, like, so if somebody's fearing, like, that's the thing about phobias too. The only way to get rid of them is to get rid of them. Like, you can't be like, oh, I'm afraid that this will happen and this will happen and that this person will do this and this person will do that. If you feel like that, then that's what you're going to get. Like, because that's your fear. Whatever you create in fear is likely to come. And it's only so you can face it. But the better thing to do would be to let go of fear. Does that make sense now why people say let go of fear? Let go of fear. The reason you have to let go of fear and phobias, I'm going to take that one out, is because that's the only way to really break that cycle. If that should make perfect sense. I feel like what I just said makes absolute sense. Like, if you hold on to it and think about, no, well, I'm not going to do that because, like, for instance, I was telling a friend of mine, she has let's say my friend loves dogs, right? And she wants to, but she also loves, you know, I don't know, like, Airbnbs. And so I put together for her to obtain some wealth. I give her this brilliant, lovely idea. Like, hey, friend, you should open this. It will do excellent. And the person sees all the value. The person has examined and sees, the person examines and sees all of their, the opportunities and how that could really come to fruition. But instead of them taking the time to breathe out and just meditate on the situation and all the beauty of it, etc., they start thinking about the things. Oh, well, if I need a spot over in this shopping center to really get the, you know, the people to come in, then it's going to be really expensive to get a location in that mall. And it's kind of like, you just stopped yourself. You had all the wealth in your hands. You had all the opportunity, all the idea, all of this, all of that. And then because you just didn't say, okay, I'm going to take a deep breath, like we tell kids, right? I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to go do it. Because breath work is huge. I think people discount that too. A lot of people don't know what to call it, but it's called breath work. And you got to do it a lot. And that's why we as parents end up in the phase, because I can't lie. No one told me, but it was just kind of like, oh, this sounds like a really good idea. Why don't you take 10 deep breaths? Like, get this together, because that's a way of becoming in control. So your breath is life force energy. Okay, I'll repeat that for you slow ones. Your breath is life force energy. Your breath is life force energy. So when you take a breath, when you take the time to breathe and do breath work in the height of your emotions or sensitivities is what I'm going to call it. Instead of saying trigger today, I'm going to say sensitivities. You essentially get back control of self and the emotions and the sensitivities that were, maybe pokes, like the sensitivities that were reached. Let's just call it that. The sensitivities that were reached. So when you were triggered to yell back at this person who's yelling at you and pointing in your face, taking that time to breathe out. Or when you start to have these fears about, well, I know I want to go do this and do that and do this and build this and do that, but I don't have the money and this and that, and seeing all of those, take a deep breath and be like, you know what? It'll come. Because if you're in your body of manifestation or having faith without, seeing it in front of you, if you want to get back to biblical terms, that faith of a mustard seed. Leave all those, lofty logistics out of it sometimes. People say, oh, you're living up in the clouds. Oh, you only see the positive. No, I only desire the positive. So that's the only thing I put my focus on, because where you focus, where your attention goes, you guys know, I'm trying to help. Take the time to breathe. I get so irritated because I'm gonna keep it 100. The reason why y'all don't see a lot of videos from me is because y'all shadow ban me like I don't know what. Nobody gives me love, even the people that know that I'm a spot on reader. Nobody gives me love. It's cool. I don't need it. Let's just be clear. My orphan phase been over with. Anybody knows how to be alone? It's me, buddy. So any type of mistreatment, you only end up hurting yourself when you do that to me. You try to isolate, hurt me, push me out, not be friendly to me, that only ends up hurting other people. I am that walking karma. It's cool though. It's cool with me because I never do anything to anybody to make them behave that way with me. So that's why it's like, oh, you doing that? Okay. I've been through many other lifetimes where I've made millions. Because I'm not, I used to always say too, because I worked a lot. I was the type of person, I'd be working on the weekends, and I didn't even have kids at that point. I was just working because it was, I like money. That's what I used to say. I like money, which is true. I do like money, as we all do. But I forgot where I was. There were so many things. You got to do your breath work. You cannot let yourself live in fear. I get frustrated. The reason why y'all don't get readings from me is because y'all don't listen. Y'all get mad when I tell you need to nun it up. You need to monk it up. You need to stop swanging the wang and spreading it high or whatever they say, low, whatever. You don't spread it. Shoot. Because that's how stuff be spreading. Oh, what? Not just STIs, but STDs. All these emotional baggage that other people are carrying around because of their connections with other people. People have to really stop and think about that. What are we leaving for our children? What are we leaving? What is this legacy? What is there out there? What is it out there if everybody's always nitpicking at everybody and mad and angry and finding fault everywhere and trying to do this and what legacy are you leaving for your children that they'll have to fight through that? That's the other thing that a lot of these people moving into this new I've been so wrong stage of their life. The fact that they're realizing now that they're leaving it upon, spiritual birth, if they do not heal these things within themselves, the things that I mentioned at the beginning of this reading were the things that the collective healed from that other people are so mad about. But what they haven't realized is they've never spent a moment on their own healing. And that is the key to having whatever it is that you want in life. It's not, I can go and do this magic and take it. That doesn't work. Hexes and curses can only curse somebody who believes that it can hex and curse them. The collective doesn't believe that shit. No way somebody can manifest in their mind from my life. That's not how it works. You cannot. If that was the case, I could manifest for, for all kinds of things, man. Let's just, let's just keep it 100. That's not how it works. But anyway, But the collective moving on, like, people have to move on from that mindset. Some people are going to realize that their children are now leaving their home and like going on about their life, and they're going to experience their life on their own. And their children may come back to them now wondering, like, why didn't you tell me about this? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me that I had to heal these things? Why didn't you tell me that, like, this should be a focus? You told me I was only supposed to worry about money and going to school and, you know, this and that, but you didn't tell me the full everything, that there's all of this other stuff that has to happen, and, you know, how I have to look at my friends as I'm growing up to understand the real true relationship that I have with them. A lot of people, you know, see, that's the difference between maybe Haitian families, because I can look at every single other race and religion and nationality and understand everything. I can make sense of it all and take all the good pieces, because that's typically what I do. I like to take all the good pieces and say, that's a good thing to have. Respecting your elders, oh, that's a great thing. Oh, teaching your children, that's a great thing. Oh, spending time on yourself, that's an excellent thing. Like, I can take all the good from anything I want to and make it and adapt it to be my belief and my understanding, the way that I uphold myself in life. And that's what a lot of people don't realize, is that it's about that. It's not about trying to restrict or constrict someone. And that's what a lot of people's children are about to find out. I feel like somebody's got some children, some children that are leaving home and leaving the nest, and their children are going to be wondering, like, why didn't you tell me about this? Why didn't you tell me about this spiritual battle? Like, no, not what we were in church learning in Bible school and some, vacation Bible school camp and stuff. No, why didn't you tell me about this other stuff? Because all of your pastors, preachers, all of your clergy that went to school, that went to monastery and whatever it's called when they got theology. If they studied theology, they studied dark magic too. They know what's up. They work in both areas. They either made a choice then too. Well, a lot of them in the school made a choice. Like, am I going to be on this side or this side? Just keeping it 100. Haitian families tell their children know. I don't know. I just know that and understand it. There's probably other ones too. But these people are having a lot of, like, their finances are falling or failing, or like there aren't any. They're in a hole, is what I'm hearing. But yeah, they're gonna realize that too when the child leaves, or when the child left their home. They're realizing that. A lot of people's children are gonna be like, why did you not tell me about this? Either that, or the children are going to be so scared of this traditional lifestyle that that this phobia is here, of this traditional lifestyle that their parents have raised them in, that they'll never tell their parents. Like, because there's this head here that's kind of like, it's somebody's resting on it, somebody's shocked by it, another person's running up to save it. Like, there's so many things happening there, and it's like, somebody's wondering if their loved ones are safe. Here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, yes. Honestly, yes. You know, your loved ones are safe. Here's the thing. Nothing stops this, though. It's kind of like, oh, everybody's safe. You know, that's what you have to learn, too. Everybody's still in the cradle. I'm just a baby. Everybody's still learning and growing and accepting and acknowledging. The difference is, are you willing to learn and grow, acknowledge, and accept? Or do you want to stay stuck in this energy? Because this is usually what it is. It's either an unrequited love from a previous lifetime. They came back this time as a karmic, and that's causing them to fall right now. And a lot of people just can't accept it, or like move past it, or, work on themselves. All right, let's see. Wealth, and take time to breathe out, because that's where the collective is. They are breathing out. And I keep hearing the back. Yeah. It's time to release that negativity, whatever that fear is. Your fear only keeps you stuck in a cycle. Again, it's time to release negativity. That is why people say you can't, you either shit or get off the pot, right? Piss or get off the pot, right? That is literally it, because you being on the pot without going, look, then on the bottom, Aries, it's time to take action. You being on the pot and not going means you're liable to have an accident, because you're going to get up off the pot, you haven't went, and then you're going to go on about your life, and then you're going to have an accident and find yourself right back on the pot. Same pot. Okay, the download before I started this was it's something to do with sweets, and maybe someone's indulging. So maybe Spirit's asking someone to watch their gluttony behavior. I don't know who that is. Like, whatever it is that you are a glutton with, whether it be sweets or, you know, it's the gluttony is the issue right now for most, is what I'm understanding. Maybe even someone needs to slow down when they're buying things, or the way they look at like that. Yeah, someone's being asked to understand that, like, there's nothing that you can't afford, but there's also things that you cannot buy. Because I feel like there's somebody who's maybe been able to buy everything they wanted and do everything that they want. But Spirit's saying there's this in this time, you cannot, there's nothing that you can buy. This is a comfort zone that's being stepped out of and some issues removed. And I get that maybe like where someone is causing themselves to persecute and question something for themselves, that because nothing's yet set in stone, is what I'm understanding. This persecution and not being able to step out of that comfort zone is what's going to cause the problem. Like, this is why the waters get a little choppy. This is why, you know, it's maybe been a little back and forthy kind of feeling. So nothing is yet set in stone. Get a handle on those, how these things are seen with your third eye or from your heart space. Like, that's what I'm understanding is supposed to happen. So, like, bringing love into the situation. So whichever situations are at hand that you've been told to, if it's a relationship with, you know, a child, if it's a relationship with a parent, if it's a relationship with yourself, if it's a relationship with, you know, ancestors, universe, like whomever, you're being asked to bring love into the situation and continue sailing on. So however that looks, that doesn't mean going back and accepting people into your life, right? That does not mean that. That does not mean going back. It may mean, you know, you accepting that your hard work is paying off in your life at this time. You are free to move forward. That could actually be, you know, you bringing love into this situation and solidifying, providing that stability for yourself in your heart, because I feel like that's where most people are. Yeah, look, the Roots card was sticking out. Look, you're headed towards that strong foundation. Yeah, I feel like in a place where, because the other reading I did, there was some sunflowers that were growing and the person was smelling the sunflowers and stuff. But I see the sunflowers dried up. So it's like you've still got the roots from even all the previous sunflowers that have dried up that are about to resprout. It's kind of like, I don't know. I hear the song Love on a Two-Way Street. I hear, oh, look, transportation and wedding. I don't know why I was hearing that either. And then that's coming out here right with the travel. So I don't know how else to interpret this. Wedding, right? I mean, clearly there's two people getting married. So it's in the area of love and marriage and between strangers. This is a reminiscent reading, because I've already read this reading before. I just want you guys to know that. That's also why I don't put out new readings all the time, is because sometimes I'm like, didn't I say all of this already last year in like mid-February? I would just much rather go watch my video and be like, yeah, that's where they at, and put it out again versus like recording a whole new one to say what I already said, because I already said it. But I feel like that's also a part of this collective realizing and actualizing. So bringing to life all of these roots that they've established as authority figures in their own life and over others, because there just is. Like, this wedding brings about additional roots that, and makes them the end all, say all, be all. So this couple here, this high flying couple here, that's the wedding card, right? Roots, right? These strangers, these people who feel like they know each other, but they don't know. Like, again, here's roots being sitting here too in this stranger's card. It's being watered by both of them, right? The roots are being watered by both of them, right? They're even looking good, eye contact there, and then they're holding together the pot that is going to make the flower. Is this the reading that I should put as the flower? Because I thought that was more spicy reading. Spirit, help me. I don't know. I get like it kind of is. Ooh, I'm gonna look. And this one, and then this one underneath it says, work through your fears. It says, have faith in your dreams. So that's also a part of it. These strangers have faith in their dreams. That's what they're moving towards, because it's coming right under this transportation and sailing. Sailing takes me away. Work through your fears, high priest or high priestess. Because if you don't, and everything in life is you don't know until you know. Like, you don't know until you know. Oh, goodness. Okay, we're getting to this part. This came out in the pre-shuffle. Your spirit babies have been all up in my ovaries. Okay? I'm just trying to let you know that. Like, if there's somebody who's like concerned about pregnancy or something like that, they're coming. These spirit babies are not playing, because what you have to understand, these spirit babies are actual ancestors waiting to come back now that you cleared the bloodline. Are you following me? Now that you cleared the bloodline and healed these generational curses and hexes and have the knowledge, the ancient knowledge that you needed to move forward, now that you acted on that, you now have everything you need for them to come through you again. The energy is gaining momentum, you dingle dorks. Your hard work is paying off. It just keeps repeating itself. You're very close to achieving your goal. It's just all right there in your love life. Ay, 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 ay. Who is that down there? These are strangers at their wedding. Oh, okay. With some children that they're going to bring in the world. Sailing, ships coming in. I've read this so many times. This is why I don't like doing readings, because I have to repeat myself. And it usually is because everybody's emotions start running high, because these people are right there at the cusp of knowing what they should do. And then they go, they get scared. They get scared. Well, what if this person does it? And what if... Stop that. Stop that stupid psycho babble. That is demonic projections. It's people playing games with you. Don't let them do that. Don't let them make you a science experiment. Do we see what's happening here? Don't let them make you a science experiment, people. That is them being able to use their sorcery on you to get you to waver in your thought process with respect to what you're willing to accept and what you want. Fear. Sick of this. I'm so tired. This is the key. Goodness. This came out a lot in the pre-shuffle too. A lot of people are still, in that night energy. You got so much more to go. You guys better get your stuff together. The night is just, gosh, it's just the beginning of the motion. It's not even the messages or completion. But even before you go to completion, you have to show the potential, show the capability to be duality, show the ability to communicate, show your stability, show you can get through adversity, then grow and have faith, then change and watch everything come into fruition. Then you reach completion. Then you get the message. So if you're in night energy, you got to go all the way back through the ace, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, the 9, and then you get to the 10. And then once you get to completion, which is the 10, then you will go back to that page energy. You will get the message that puts you into your queen, king, etc. Every time, that's what people don't understand too about it. Every time you go through, like when you don't learn a lesson and they say the cycle's repeating for somebody, that's what that means. You're having to go right back through those lessons, all those lessons from A, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, 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 to the page to get back into the night energy in and upright. And once you're at that level, you have to, get through the swords, the wands, the cups, and the pentacles, which means start working with air, okay? Your breath work, start working with fire, maybe whatever it is. If it's lighting your goals and things, or the things that you want to release and burning them into the air, or getting a candle and, saying, this candle has helped purify my body of, negativity and, this and that and the other. Then you move on to work with water. Start cleansing your body in a different way. Meaning take spiritual baths. It's a ritual. If you don't do it that way, go dip in some water, a big body of water. Natural, not man-made. You can't go to a man-made lake and do that, okay? So you have the options. You either take a bath, your spiritual bath, or you go and dip in some actual water, okay? And then you go through the earth part, which is grounding, putting your feet on the earth. That is how you move through these cycles. That's what all of these cards mean. Dinkledorks. You guys I'm sorry. I'm so irritated right now because I feel like I keep reading the same things. And people go and watch all these other readers. They don't give me no love, no respect. But here I am with all the actual information on how you go through and what is happening and how to see the signs. And no one said it would be easy. All right, cool. I get real frustrated at people not wanting to do their work, but then looking everywhere for the answer. Oh, I don't want to do that though. Okay, well, you have to have a justifiable reason to the universe that you shouldn't have to go through this life lesson. Why do you just skip the line? Are you an ancestor coming back through the divine beings? No, you're not. If you're here on this, this planet right now. Goodness gracious, people don't get it. I have already had an ancestor come through me. You know what I mean? My son was born and my grandmother, step-grandmother, but I still consider her grandmother, passed away. As soon as I went into labor, my grandmother passed away. Not like, there's nothing, I don't do anything to cause it. Like, how could I? I don't even get into that stuff. Again, I'm one of those people whose family didn't tell them. You know what I mean? Whose family did things without their knowledge, But anyway, there's going to be some really great health benefits that come. Like, things that maybe used to plague you. It's like there's a lot of healing coming from these divine unions, these divine relationships. Also, if you were wondering, some people are wondering too, like, is getting on my spiritual path going to help me with my health? Yes. Getting on, I healed myself of hemiplegic migraines. And those are migraines that mimic stroke. So people that think that it's nothing, it's just a headache. No, it is a stroke, baby. It's a stroke. It's your body shutting down. It's the whole left side of you going numb, and you cannot speak or read or talk on your. Yes, that is what it is. So can it help you with your health? Absolutely. Especially if you start treating your body like the temple. You let people just dig all up in your temple. You just let people like ride and swing and do flips and stuff on your temple steps. Because that's what y'all be doing with your bodies. I'm just saying. Anyway, the time for loyalty is present. Like, the change in the tide is occurring because it's a time for loyalty. It's a time for, people to really move forward from that, to transport, themselves into new realms and existences. It's a time for people to meet, new people. That they've never met. This loyalty won't come about any other way. You see how these two dogs are meeting? One's on the leash. The other is not. Or is. But that person's leash is like, that other dog's leash is like somewhere off in the background. So essentially, this loyalty is important. I get a heavy energy of like burning or something. Like whatever, maybe somebody smokes cigars. Maybe put a cigar on your altar if you have an altar. Yeah. But there's a lot of loyalty that's coming in. There were a lot of sacrifices. I want to dig into that word real quick too. That knighthood energy is coming back up again. I want to dig into that a word of sacrifices, because I used to get upset when I would hear it, like, ain't nobody going to sacrifice me. True. Facts. However, what you do have to understand is people can sacrifice their relationship with you. People can sacrifice their spiritual contract with you. And that's okay. Because when they sacrifice that connection with you, that means they are cut off from anything that you are moving forward to. That was a hunk of synchronicity. Again, you and your loved ones are safe. You just have to go through your work. Like, that's also maybe somebody's fears. Like, my kids, my this, my that. Like, things are not turning out really well for me right now. Hold your vision. Hold your vision of what you want for yourself in the most pure and simplistic way. Okay? Hold vision for self, because you can't be focused on multiple temples at a time. That's the thing. That's the old saying, like, people who don't make time for themselves. Like, it really does play out like that, people. So someone here needs to really make time for themselves and what they want. This is how you heal. Sometimes it doesn't look like like you think it's supposed to look. It doesn't have to look like whatever anybody thought. How would they know in the first place? It's your life. It's your experience, right? If I walk into the store and go and do something in the store, it doesn't look the same as when you walk into the store. Because who knows how many people have been there and bought something out of the store already? Who knows, what you're even in the store looking for? Just all these different things. Every moment and every second of life is different, right? Let go of any unrequited love situations. That's the first part. I feel like that's why Atlantis even happened, is because there was just so much, like, I don't know. People didn't know how to, I don't know. Yeah, people didn't know how to, it was something to do with love and relationships. Because look, it's a pair of dolphins. And the spouse card is the other card that came out on the split. Or maybe you and whoever this wedding with this stranger is somebody that you've known from Atlantis. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. You never know how many lifetimes you and a person have been together. Ooh, ooh. Okay, I'm going to take those. Atlantis is still out. You never know how many lifetimes you and a person have had together. That was the card I was seeing right as I was saying that. You don't know how many times you guys have fought the good fight in the battle to be these people. This is naturally, like, this is your natural spouse. This is the person that's nature and, creation. Look at the universe. This is naturally made for you. This stranger. Look, wedding and spouse, nature and strangers. Hold your vision. Keep your eyes open. Look, and then the wars and battles and then fightings here too. And then your commitment is being tested. Because do you want what you say you want? Do you want what you say you want? Show the world the real you. So if you're not choosing your happiness every day, then is that really you? What is it? It's time to take action. What is it that brings you the most happiness? Yeah, and this is the other thing too. If you've done all of this healing work, and you're in this authority figures energy, as far as my collective, you guys have to understand you're no longer fighting the battle either. That's God's taking care of your lightweight, and it's all lightweight. In case you didn't know, it's all lightweight. Release it. Let go. Go ahead, because it don't matter. So just so you know, collective, like, that's the reality of the circumstances right now. Look at this. The hands is open. Spirituality and religion are being merged in this lifetime. Time to take action. All right, what's next? Anything else? What help for these lovely people? Ooh. Okay. For people who are experiencing that the person they believe to be their person is what I'm going to call it. The people who feel like they're being obedient. Okay. In their forward movement, that they've got the heart of a wolf, and I'm trying to figure this one out because it gave me the message, but then I looked at another card, so I didn't memorize the message that I was given with this. So give me a second. Oh, okay, yes. So anybody who's not upholding their contract, like anyone you know that's already broken their contracts with you, etc., 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 etc. And like, it is what it is what I'm understanding. For them, it's another fiery climax that is approaching, similar to that of a lifetime maybe in Egypt where you ruled. You and your loved ones are safe. It says, Father, believe in the impossible and galactic. Egypt, adjustments are required. The energy is gaining momentum. And so I feel like the power to make those adjustments and changes. Ooh, and it says vows. So for the ones who are upholding their contracts, meditate, contemplate, and surrender to the divine. So, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory to me. I don't know why that needed to be said, but I guess because a lot of people are understanding that, like, the forces of nature are at work here. So if you're not obedient to your spiritual contracts, or the people that sacrificed their spiritual contracts with you that's just where they are. Like, they have to experience this. They have to go through whatever it is to heal themselves, because they didn't want to be connected to you in your healing. Does that make sense? Like, all of those people who were stuck in this, whatever it is, this mindset, everything is ending for them. Like, it's, their money is ending. Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news for people, but this is what happens when you go against love. This is what happens when you fight, the inevitable, the things that, are here to bring you great joy and pleasure. You see the embrace that these two are in? It's an embrace. It's something that is bigger than, it's bigger than anything that's come against it. That's for sure. So, a personal issue reaches a resolution for somebody who's, not in the right mind. And then lessons, and be learning lessons. So the time has come, because there's a clock again, biggest day. The time has come to be obedient, or, well, there's no real choice. It just is what it is, because life is going to continue to move forward, right? Regardless. And at this point, for some people, the fact that, life goes on is not a fun experience for them right now, because where life is going for them is where, they created. Because you can't manifest for someone else. Let's think about it. Like Brad Pitt. I wonder how many women sat and tried to manifest him. Or, whomever it is. Anthony, whatever, Chamelier, or whoever. I don't know. Shoot, I don't know who people be liking. But don't you think people sit and try to manifest and, hold their energy towards these people all the time? I wonder how many. Look, didn't Homeboy say he manifested Angela Simmons? And he wrote it in his song. That's the energy of man and woman. That's the energy they're supposed to have. They're supposed to want to manifest each other, but it's got to be a mutual thing. It only matches up with the ones that it matches up with. It's not for everybody. So what some people don't realize, people want to make it believe that, like, oh, well, it's because of this or that. Well, in reality, because I get some heavy energy of, like, people being told that the collective is a witch, but everybody's a witch. Everybody has witchy capabilities. Everybody has the capability to do magic, right? Some people just don't think that it's purposeful. It is. That is what it is. But maybe a previous lifetime for someone that they accessed in the Akashic records helps them to surrender to the divine and understand, like, oh, okay, so I can do this and this and this to protect myself, to heal myself, to move myself forward. And it's all about doing what feels best to you, you know, what feels innocent in action. It's not about, oh, this person, that, no, what feels innocent? What would you want from a baby's perspective, from a new innocent being's perspective? Light as a feather, light as a feather. That's why so many doggone ancestors and the fertility is high in these relationships. When you surrender to the divine, you have nothing but a fullness of life. Like, the world is your oyster. Of course, these relationships, of course it's going to feel like somebody threw some cootie magic on them. Hell yeah. When you're with the right person, people used to call it pussy whip. Now they're trying to say, oh, it's witchcraft. What? My vagina? How? My penis? How? It also depends on how you use it. Are you using it for that purpose? Or are you using it just to provide the healing source? Are you looking to have just one solid relationship with someone who you can do this sacred act with? That's where people get it so confused. Someone who wants to do sacred acts versus someone who just want to be out there doing sexual stuff with a bunch of other people. It's food for thought. There's also a past life in Asia. Anyway, expect powerful change, collective. Expect a powerful change. I'm sure everybody else is. I'm sure that can be felt. It said that the energy is gaining momentum earlier. All of your angels are there supporting you. Your angels supporting you and your person as you get through this. I feel like it's going to be a combination of things. Excuse me. Spiritual birth. Excuse me. Okay. It's going to be food and hunger. So I see this a bunch of different ways. Food may not even be tasty to you. Like, you may not even you may find yourself hungry. You get exactly what you want and it still don't hit the spot. Like, it's just food. Because what you really desire is an actual relationship. Same thing can work, spiritual purpose, excuse me, for money. Somebody may be like, oh no, I'm just fine, you know, just stacking my money, blah, 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 blah. They're going to still be in this hunger energy because your desire has to be on the right things. You know, that's how you walk in your divinity. You have to be adhering to your contracts. Again, I don't know how to help anybody else understand. Like, when you write a spiritual contract, it's written, you know, there's a purpose to it. If you don't want to take it, you have to be clear to the universe as to why, you know. And it has to be a valid reason, because it's like, well, you created this contract, you know, to provide you with everything that you could have a hunger and thirst for. That's what I'm understanding, because it says a new romantic cycle begins. I'm going to put that under over obedient. It says a personal issue reaches resolution. I'm going to put that right here with the angels in the lesson. Some of you need to ask your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, pray for discernment, knowledge, wisdom, etc. You guys know what to do. And then balance that spirituality and practicality. Balance the fact that, well, yeah, I can be spiritual being and be a practical being. I can, you know, be a spiritual being and be practical. Yeah, this food and unrequited love, I feel like for a lot of these energies that have been fighting against you and stuff like that, it's hard for the people outside of you to understand how their fighting is going to, like, it's hard for them to even see what we're saying. Like, these things make no sense to them, and that's just really what it is. And nothing's gonna come of, like, their fighting. Like, nothing's gonna come of it. Nothing's, and these are matching up real good. Nothing's gonna come of them fighting this union or this situation or whatever it is that's been destined for you. Like, yeah, because the unrequited love is right under here. It's like whatever they were trying to do, the medicine man or woman, it's healing that. They're healing. These strangers are healing that. You saw how they're both putting their hands on the same pot. Like, come on. Everything, like, it cancels it out. Like, it just makes it null and void. You know how that works. You deposit $10, you spend $10. That's how it works. I feel like someone may have felt like they were in this drowning energy as a child. There's also some big lessons and things being, some big lessons being learned, with respects to sensuality is what I want to say. Sensuality. So be bold and make the first move. This is your food. This is the thing that you hunger for, whatever it is that you need to make the first move in. So that could be you finally doing this or finally doing that, like whatever it is. You finally called and asked about how much it costs to sign up for the class that you wanted to take for such and such, or, whatever it is. It's something from your youth, because this card keeps coming out too. It's something that's going to make your inner child happy and fulfilled for sure. And this is what I'm understanding. Like and if you don't, you'll know when you get there. It's kind of energy. Like if you were wondering like, oh, is this the right class? Should I move in this direction? Yes, this will help you grow. This is your tree of life. If I seem exhausted, y'all, it's because I am. Because you guys, these messages to me seem like they're repeating themselves. Confidence is the key to success. Maybe listen to some confidence subliminals overnight, binaural, that help that. Yeah. This is giving someone ancient knowledge. This is a big lesson that someone is learning. Oh, this is a download I got the other day too, that like maybe the divine masculine in the energy is getting a lot of ancient knowledge. He was stripped naked basically in this last instance in order for him to see with his third eye. I'm gonna just leave it there. And then essentially at that same time, this divine feminine being was earning their wings through that confident spark, through that confident period. Yeah. And it's all about you being, confident and aware that your past is not holding you back, and that yes, it's going to be different, but there is nothing. What I'm understanding is like there is nothing that can really it's like even the things that irritate you won't irritate you because you've evolved so much. Your like emotional intelligence, your level of understanding, it's so unique but so perfect. Like nobody's perfect, but you're perfect for me. Nobody's perfect, but they look perfect, don't they? They don't match. They got on different hats. They are different colors. They have different style. He is cold. She is hot. I don't know. He's hot. She's cold. I don't know. One of you may have grown up with a father. One of you may have not. One of you may have, had to forgive a lot of people, and some of you have, just had to like let go of people, like whatever. Both you guys may have had to do the same things, just in different ways. The perfect match, the opposites attract. It's a lot of couple energy out here. This a couple, that's a couple, that's a couple, that's a couple, that's a couple. Should we see more? This is a group of people trying to work. That's why I said confidence. Yeah, some people are having to forgive people that they've lived with and just move on from it. People that they've, established a family and built together with. Some people are just learning their true value. Like, you're good enough. You are so good enough. Somebody wanted to know about this. It's more couples coming out. So while you were under whatever the scrutiny is and being examined and people trying to, imitate you, recreate you, blah, 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 your hard work is paying off from that. However, as per usual, you have to take action. Okay? I believe that this love is going to instantly result in a child or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, however many you want. Yeah. A lot of traveling, a lot of I just hear like fun and enjoying life. Like, this is great. Like, they're traveling. Yeah, there's a kid in the car too. Like, there are children in this car too. So traveling, surrendering to the divine and what they have confirmed for you is going to bring that healing that you want. It's going to bring the money that you want too, Spirit is saying. Maybe you want to travel to Asia. Maybe that's the first thing on your mind. Maybe that's where you live. I don't know. Maybe you want to go to Egypt. Maybe you want to take a world tour. Shoot. You can do it. You're about to do that. Yeah. Your wisdom should have shown you by now that you don't live in any self-imposed prisons. That is how you maintain your household. That is, which is your spirit, your body, your physical, your life, all of that. Yeah, and it looks like you've reached those endings to these karmic relationships, like, and understanding maybe that, like, that's why you could not procreate with whomever this karmic was. It was a karmic relationships. That's why you didn't have a baby there. That's why you don't feel like a connection with the person, even if, like, maybe you're leaving someone that you had a child with, and you're realizing, like, oh, okay, I love my children, but I don't love this person. And that's okay. Like, some people are at different steps. Some people may be leaving a family of stepchildren that they had helped raise. And they're saying, okay, I love my stepchildren, but my spouse, I can no longer, you know, I don't know. I don't control these situations, scenarios. This is all, we're all connected. So yeah, I feel like there is no capability for any of these karmic past relationships. Like, there's no, like, the conclusions have been made, is what I'm understanding. There are no karmic relationships at present that stand in the way of your divine contract at this point. All the forgiveness has been given, and, you know, maybe some people need to go heal through some music. But what I'm understanding is, like, those karmic relationships are those people who are stuck in these night energies, and that those levels have nothing to do with the location that we are at. When you are residing in your major arcana, it's totally different. Like, the number scale is different because there are no swords, wands, cups, or pentacles, right? There is 0 through 21, but there's no, you know what I mean? So it's a whole different situation and circumstances. Yeah, these individuals, like I said, I'm gonna end it here too because it's starting to go back to the top again. So this loneliness, this orphan energy, anybody who doesn't uphold their contracts is set to go right back into this orphan energy. They're going to live in this until they understand what they're supposed to do. Like I said, that cycle of going from, you know, from page or night energy right through to ace, like, you gotta face it. So that's the reality. That's the closure I think should be present for anybody outside of you, because this is what I'm getting from this. Like, that's coming down from ancestor, spirit guides, like your self wisdom. You know that, like, there's nothing else that needs to be said. You need to just leave these old people alone and focus on your money tree. That's how you get your money to grow, is what Spirit's telling me. That's how you move your money forward, is by letting go, you know, especially, yeah, letting go. Yeah. Because I feel like there's this feminine carries the jackpot energy, and it basically pays out to the masculine. When you choose your divine partner, it does pay out like this. You won't even have enough hands to hold. But that's how your divine feminine pays out. When you get into that energy and make those adjustments and do what you're supposed to do. That's how these were set up. I said this before. Now card flew down on the floor. I'm not on the floor. I caught it with my legs and my thighs. Yeah, you and your loved ones are safe. I'm going to end it here. I hope this has been helpful and insightful in some type of way, shape, or form. Maybe get out, go to a museum, or look at, you know, Celtic energy, or focus on that, or Greco-Roman one that may be helpful for you with these things. Yeah. With receiving these answers and the keys that you need. Look, the keys are being put into your hand. So the answers that you need are coming. Believe the impossible. Prosperity lies ahead. Okay? And you are good enough to maintain this house. You are good enough to have this, to establish this, to build this, all of that. Okay? Communications are key while you're running high, while the emotions are running high, right? Always make sure that you connect. That's why there were 2 on everything, is to make sure that you connect. Even if you're in a Gemini energy where you're like back and forth about how you feel about your person, just be honest. That's the requirement of these divine unions, is just be honest about your feelings. Okay. Maybe, I don't know what this, maybe you've already realized it by focusing on maybe a Akashic records, past life energy of like how this obtained it. Maybe there's, I don't know, there's something to do with like you've realized, or this person has realized this, and something with Asia. But yeah, this is, you know, it's time to go ahead and establish in the 3D what you have learned in your Akashic records, what you've seen is supposed to become of your spirit, with all the ancient wisdom knowledge that's being bestowed upon you and whispered to you. Because I get an energy of like, oh, I get galactic energy too, because there's like an elder sitting in the up here in the corner. You see that elder in the rocking chair? It's Egypt looking right here. And then this person looks kind of galactic-y, right? Sorry, got cakes all in the scene, right? But that's you. You're being given all of this like galactic knowledge, ancient knowledge. And it's because you're willing to be bare in front of another person, another human, another divine being now, you know, even though, you know, you've had a past, you know, that again, there's that Atlantis. It's like trusting in building in there, trusting in building in deep waters. Ooh, ooh. You are putting your roots in some deep waters, which to me means that like it's gonna forever grow. Like this is literally legacy. That's what this is giving right now. These dolphins and all of this, you know, stuff growing at the bottom, and then it's like a tree. Have you ever seen a tree in the middle of the water? It's quite majestic. So yeah, don't let your past situations hold you back. Be youthful, be young at heart, grow young in heart with someone, okay? Maybe the galactic father, I don't know if there's maybe a spirit guide or ancestor that's a grandfather or something, or a father or something like that, or maybe just some things that your father has shown you and that you learned from your father along the way, or, you know, whatever, because you may learn something by another person's mistake. You know, you could look at somebody and be like, don't touch the oven because she said it was hot. You ever get it to a restaurant, they bring your plate and whatever you had to go in the oven to get the sizzle, and they tell you, be careful with that plate. When they're setting it down for you, they let you know that that plate is hot. Sometimes you might burn yourself, sometimes you might not, right? This is that situation. You have been cautious is what I'm understanding. Yeah. You've been cautious. A new start is coming. You've been cautious and understanding. You've learned to release whatever it is that you used to be held to. Yeah, there were some illusions. Okay. I get the energies like somebody was being crafty. Maybe a mother was trying to build a mountain and trying to force you to walk in some shoes that didn't fit. But you're in a win-win type of energy because you knew what to do. You knew how to handle yourself and your money. You knew to have trust and faith. You know, you knew to kind of let it all out too. You knew that breaking apart and being in an energy of being able to cry, being able to shout, being able to, you know, do whatever you needed to do would lead you to the right type of environment and energy that you wanted to be in, where you could really show the world the real you. You could merge spirituality and religion. You know, you could teach others to meditate and contemplate, you know, while they're in the middle of a war or a battle. You ever do that? I have. Man, I ain't even gonna get into it. That's take a course with me, I'll tell you. Because that's a part of the process, is like learning from others' experiences on how the active energies, etc., play a part in your life and what you end up doing. Oh shoot, I gotta go. All right, so work through your fears with respect to your love life, because that's what's going to get you what you want right now. Yep, the end of the tough cycle has reached you. It's approaching. So I hope this has been helpful and insightful in some way. I will catch you on the next one.